Rise and crime, everybody. So, first off, I just want to thank y'all. We both want to thank y'all for
all your support
and like all the comments and stuff we got. It was super surprising. I was not expecting it. We need to stop talking over each other already.
I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. But yeah, just thank you everyone for being so supportive and for advertising for us and everything. We love you. And yeah, subscribe.
Or follow us on Spotify.
Well, no, subscribe to us on YouTube. Spotify's iffy right now.
Yeah, it was a mission to get it on there.
Yes. Anyways, wow, this week I experienced true crime in my life.
What happened?
I was in Waterloo over the week, and at like 2 a.m, me and a couple friends were really hungry, so we went to get some food.
Oh, is it the shooting?
It is. And we went to this place called Meltwich, and it was closed, so we got back in my car and we debated whether to go to the Subway, which was right beside the Meltwich, or to just leave the plaza. And we decided to just leave the plaza, and then literally 5 minutes later the Subway got shut up.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so I experienced some firsthand true crime this week.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. Okay, now for some not our lives true crime. So, for our small story today, it takes place in Stouffville, which is a town that's really close to Markham. It's 50 kilometers north of Toronto, just to give you some description on where it is. And in the summer and fall of 2013, Stouffville had a serial killer on the loose. So this killer would kill his victims and then chop off their heads and leave them on people's lawns and driveways. Now, this guy didn't kill people, he would kill cats. So he was known as the Stouffville serial cat killer. And throughout the summer of 2013, he would behead people's cats, and then along Stouffer Street and Hoover Park, he would find like loose cats and stray cats and then kidnap them and then kill them and then leave their heads like close to where he originally found the cat, so usually be pretty close to where the owner lived.
Oh my god, that is the making of a serial killer.
Literally, so scary.
There's like 3 things that serial killers do. They kill animals, they wet the bed, and something else.
Something else.
Wait, I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
Do you not know it?
No. Anyways, so through the summer, 6 cat heads were found, as well as other cat limbs, which is really, really sad. And then in the first couple weeks of September, a few more were found. So then in October, the National Post did an article on the serial cat killer. And after this publicity went out, he just stopped killing cats.
Wow.
So I guess you could say he was a pussy. But yeah, in Stouffville, there's lots of barn cats, so it makes it the perfect crime.
Oh my god, stop.
What? I'm not kidding around. Anyways, so that's our local case. It's not too big, just thought it was quite interesting, because how often do you hear about a serial cat killer?
The third thing is they set fire to things.
Ah, right. Pyromania. Love that. No, I don't. I need to stop making those jokes. People are going to seriously think that I'm...
As long as you say, no, I don't at the end, it's fine.
No, I don't, guys.
Unless I edit that out and then and then it just makes you sound bad.
The case of the Stouffville cat killer is still open, by the way. They never caught anybody. They never found out who did it. And the killings have not restarted since 2013. But yeah, he was just never found. So
that's kind of dangerous still. Because, like, what if he becomes a serial killer? Not that those two are, like, directly correlated. It's just a characteristic. But still. Like, you can't be sane.
Yeah, especially if you're beheading the cats.
Yeah,
like,
and
you're not just killing
that's
them.
crazy.
If I were you and I was living in Stouffville, all Stouffville listeners out there, don't get a cat. Don't do it. Move out, then get a cat.
Or never let your cat leave the house.
But what if your cat gets out one night? Dead cat.
Sad cat.
Ugh. Anyways, yep, that's the local story. So beware Stouffville cats. Well, I guess he's gone now, but
Is he though?
Is he?
He could pick it up again.
Watch your back, Stouffvillians.
Watch your cat's back.
Literally.
All right.
Okay, on to our bigger case.
So, have you heard of Bruce Mcarthur?
Have I heard of Bruce Mcarthur? Well, I know somebody who is possibly related to Bruce Mcarthur, so yes, I know of Bruce Mcarthur.
Well, let me tell you, he is not a good guy.
Well, I saw that one coming.
Unpleasant on all accounts. All right, so Bruce Mcarthur was born October 8th, 1951 in Lindsay, Ontario, and was raised on a farm in Argyll?
Like the pattern? Argyle?
Right?
Yeah, Argyle.
Yeah.
A city and a pattern.
He had a sister. I don't know if she was older or younger than him. Nothing said anything specific. But his parents had a lot of foster children around the house. So there's always like 6 to 10 children around the house. And they had a good reputation in the area, according to a family friend. So he attended a one-room schoolhouse outside of Woodville. His schoolmates would describe him as a teacher's suck.
Just like a teacher's pet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, he would never get into trouble, and if his, like, friends were getting into trouble, he would tell on them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tattletale.
Pretty much. So, his parents were pretty religious. His mom was Irish Catholic, and his father was a Scottish Presbyterian. Both were devout. This, like, could have caused a lot of underlying tension because he struggled with his homosexuality. He went to a nearby school called Fenelon Falls Secondary School, where he met and began dating Janice Campbell. I don't really know what year they started dating, but they both graduated in 1970.
Did you just call her last name Campbell? You know it's Campbell, right?
I know, I fucked up. I'm gonna say that again.
No, you're not. You're gonna leave that in because that's silly.
Shit. No. I just reading.
Nope.
No.
It's what said is said.
Janice Campbell.
Campbell? James Campbell?
Campbell. Like the soup.
Campbell soup?
Yeah. And he went to university, I assumed, because then he graduated from a program in general business, and he got married when he was 23.
Young.
To Janice.
To Janice, but he is gay.
Yes.
Okay.
In the mid-1970s, his dad was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he died. And then his mom also died because she had cancer.
Oh.
So, unfortunate for Bruce in the 1970s.
I'm sad for him in the 1970s.
Yes. By 1986, they had 2 children together. They had 1 girl and 1 boy, and they lived in Oshawa.
Do they still live in Oshawa?
The children or him?
The children. Oh, wait, do you mean they as a family lived in Oshawa?
Yeah, like, they as a family. What did you think?
I thought the children lived... Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Do you know what? Her brain's not working. She's dizzy.
Okay. He worked as a traveling salesman for McGregor Socks after leaving his department store job in 1978. In the early 1990s, he began having sexual affairs with men, and more than a year later, he came out to his wife. But they continued living together.
Okay.
Sometime after 1993, his employment as a traveling salesman came to an end, and they faced financial difficulties. So, sidebar. His financial difficulties were partly due to the fact that they had to settle some legal issues because their teenage son, Todd, was obsessively making obscene phone calls to women he did not know.
Todd.
Yeah.
Frat boy name. Sorry.
In the years since, he's had dozens of convictions for these charges. Yes, Todd. For harassment. Because he kept making these phone calls to strangers. In 2014, he was sentenced to 14 months in jail after he made multiple obscene phone calls to a complete stranger at her workplace.
He took prank calls to a level that they should not be at.
He would make sexually suggestive comments and ask her stuff like if she was wearing panties at work.
The worst. That's the worst.
Yeah. And then he would end the phone call by whispering their name.
And how did he know their name?
I don't know. It just says that.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's terrifying.
That's
Somebody
really
called
scary.
me at my customer service work line at work and was like, I love the way your hair looks right now. Rachel. I would cease, I would quit my job, I would move to Kalamazoo.
Imagine not ending with bye. It's just
Rachel. From now on, I'm ending all my phone calls like that. I'm going to call you later and be like, wow, that was a really good podcast session today. Michelle.
and then
Hangs
end it.
up.
That's so creepy. I think that makes it so much creepier. Before this offense, though, he had 2 similar charges, but like it was like all related. His lawyer said that he was diagnosed with telephone scatology. How do you say that?
Telephone scatologia.
Yeah. So it basically just means you get off on making these kind of phone calls.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they said that he had been treated for this illness for 10 to 15 years. This was in 2014. Like,
So-
I just fast forward because this is just a side note.
So he's still getting treated.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes. Todd said that it was linked to his depression and maybe because his first sexual experience was an illicit phone call he had when he was like 11 or 12.
Oof.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, back to
Bruce.
story.
Okay, so Bruce separated from his wife in 1997 and he moved to Toronto to live in the gay community.
The Village.
Yeah. He hung out at bars at church in Wellesley.
Oh my gosh. So
Literally,
tell me, this man was at Cruise and Tangos. He was at the drink. You already know.
Yep, pretty much.
I was there last week.
All the time. And he moved into an apartment on Don Mills Road where he had a 4-year relationship with another dude.
Okay.
All right, but eventually they broke it off and his divorce got finalized. So he went to go see a psychiatrist and was prescribed Prozac for several months. And then he started getting work as a landscaper.
If you don't know, Prozac is an antidepressant. Just adding that.
So moving on to his first known assault.
Uh-oh.
On October 31st, 2001. So
Happy frickin' Halloween.
he's 50 now.
Oof.
So he met a male sex worker on a chat line prior and was invited to the man's apartment to see his Halloween costume.
Okay.
Because it is Halloween. And he showed up. He struck the man from behind with an iron pipe. And it says that he often carried, but
So he just carried around an iron pipe.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe it was a part of his costume.
As one does.
Yeah, casual. The man lost consciousness, then called 911 when he woke up.
Okay. You almost didn't finish that sentence, and I was like, the man lost consciousness, then called 911. I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah. He ended up needing stitches to the back of his head and his fingers and had to do 6 weeks of physiotherapy.
Wow. So he hit this guy.
Yeah, he beat this man up. And so Bruce Mcarthur actually turned himself in for this attack, but he said that he didn't remember and like he didn't know why he would do such a thing. That's what he said. Anyways, he pleaded guilty. He was charged with assault with a weapon and assault causing bodily harm. On April 11th, 2003, he received a conditional sentence of 729 days, so 2 years less a day. The Crown prosecutor had earlier wanted jail time, but agreed after a psychiatric report suggested that he is low risk to society.
Oof.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Anyone that carries a metal pipe around.
That psychiatrist is really kicking themselves now.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Not a good call. So he avoided jail, but he was under house arrest and was banned from church in Wellesley and could not spend time with sex workers, consume drugs, or own firearms, like those things specifically.
Okay.
Because I think the Crown prosecutor was really worried that he would hurt another sex worker. In 2002, while the assault case was going on, Bruce Mcarthur registered on many gay dating websites, such as... Should I list them? I feel like... Is that necessary?
You don't need to.
Okay.
I just like that you wrote Silver Daddies.
Because that's what the list was.
I just really
many.
like that it says Silver Daddies on your paper.
He also advertised his nightlife on Facebook. Like, he would post a lot of pictures, but very specifically, he would, like, post a lot of pictures with younger men of South Asian descent. A thing to note. Or Middle Eastern. At this point, he was a part of the gay village and was very active and was a regular at bars. In 2003, it was well known that he was banned from the gay village, and he had a rep for BDSM and rough sex.
That's a rep. Okay.
Yep, it is a rep. But it was also noted in his dating profiles.
So he would, like, let people know.
Yeah, he would let people know.
Okay.
Fun fact, during this time, he was self-employed as a landscaper, and during the off seasons, he would be a Santa at Agent Court Mall.
Oof, that makes me really uncomfortable.
I know.
Because it's already one thing to, like,
I know.
Mall Santas just creep me out in general. I'm sorry, Mall Santas. I apologize.
Have
But
you ever seen a
you're
picture
scary. I have taken pictures with Santa, and every time I look back at them, I go, why, parents, did you let me do this?
Not Santa, Bruce. Have
my
you ever
gosh.
seen him?
I thought you said have you ever got a picture of Santa. I was like, yes, and it's creepy. Have I ever got a picture? Wait, have I ever seen a picture of Bruce
Yeah.
McArthur? Yes, I have.
He looks jolly. And it's
No, he doesn't look jolly. He looks like a serial killer. But
he doesn't look like
mall Santas are already creepy. Now that I know that Bruce McArthur was one of them, I feel worse.
yeah. I just thought he needed to know that.
I didn't need to, but now I do, and now I feel worse about it.
You're welcome. All right, so let's get into the business.
I like how you're 2 pages deep and we haven't even talked about a crime yet.
No, we did the metal pipe.
Oh yeah, true. Shoot.
And on September 6, 2010, Skandaraj Navartnam.
We're so sorry for pronouncing things wrong.
Yeah, I apologize. He goes by Skanda. I'll just call him Skanda. He was 40. He was reported missing. He was last seen on September 6, 2019, leaving Zippers, a former gay village bar, with an unknown man. He was romantically involved with McArthur, who he had met in 1999.
So, like, earlier.
Yeah. And he had also worked for his landscaping business. So they had, like, a personal relationship. He was a Tamil refugee from Sri Lanka and had no family members in Canada.
Ooh, that sucks.
On December 29, 2010, Abdul Basir Fauzi, who was 42, was reported missing when his car was found abandoned. It was steps away from Beltane Trail, a popular cruising spot for gay men. Through bank records, they found out he was at Church and Wellesley last.
So now we've got 2 missing men from the gay community.
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
More.
Okay.
On October 25th, 2012, Majid Kayhan?
Yeah.
Kayhan, who was 58, was reported missing by his adult son. He was last seen on October 18 in the gay village. He had a partner, but he died eventually, and then he had a sexual relationship with Bruce afterwards.
So now we have 3 gay men missing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
goodness.
these 3 cases would form what the police would call the Project Houston. So it started with Skanda, our first person.
Sorry, my train of thought there was like Project Houston. Why? Because Houston, we have a problem. But why is it called that?
I mean, I don't know actually. I never found out why it was called Project Houston.
Because Houston, we have a problem.
All
There's
right.
3 gay men missing. We can't find them. Okay, keep going.
I'm sure that's it. So this is weird, and yeah, it's just weird. So it started with Skanda because reports showed that there was a post on a cannibal website called Zambian Meat, and this man that posted claimed that he had killed and eaten a man in Toronto.
Excuse me?
I know, like that triggered the project.
Sorry, that is absolutely... There's cannibal websites?
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Anyways, but this was proven false later on, so that had nothing to do with Skanda, and that I don't think that man killed or ate a person, but they did find him. Anyways, that was just side note. By June 2013, the task force identified Basir and Hamid and linked them all together based on geography and lifestyle. So the last 2 people who have gone missing.
Majid Kayhan is also known as Hamid.
Yes. Oh, yeah, sorry. Forgot to mention
That's
that.
okay. We've cleared it up now.
Okay. They were both married. They both had double lives, and they were both middle-aged immigrants from Afghanistan.
So the police were like, these men similar, same guy took them.
They think.
Okay.
That's all 3 of these are ultimately linked together.
Okay.
Yeah. So the police got an anonymous tip that led to McArthur being interviewed because he had been linked to the 2 men from dating apps, like the last 2. Also, they knew that McArthur was romantically involved with Skanda and had visited Hamid before. So McArthur said that he denied the relationship with Skanda, and then he told them that he had broken off the sexual relationship he had with Hamid.
So he was just like, I'm not involved with them. How could this be me?
Yeah, pretty much. They didn't think that he was a suspect. They thought that maybe he could have been a witness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But ultimately, the police had no suspects, and they couldn't find anything, so it became a cold case. Unfortunately. All right. Now, Andrew Kinsman was reported missing June 28th, 2017.
Okay, so we're like 2017 now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Fast.
close to now.
Yeah. Yeah, this case is not even over technically.
Wow, I didn't realize how recent this was.
It's pretty recent. So he was last seen June 26th at Cabbagetown. He was not like the other men that had gone missing because he was really active in the community. He was very open about being gay. Because of this, everyone knew that he wouldn't just leave. So he had a lot of friends, so there was an active search for this person.
Okay.
Yeah. So he also knew McArthur for at least a decade because he was a bartender and also had a sexual relationship with him.
So MacArthur's just dating around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Backtracking a little, Selim Essen was reported missing April 14th, 2017. He was completing a certificate course in peer counseling from St. Stephen's Community House before he disappeared. MacArthur was also a client at St. Stephen's House.
Oof.
Yes. So we're going to go back to Kinsman right now because his friends, his fantastic friends, they made a poster, like a missing persons poster for him, but they also included 10 other people in this missing persons ad because there have been like a lot of people missing from the gay village.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're not just going to campaign for him. We're going to campaign for everyone. Good people.
Good people. So 5 of them had been found and the 6th person had proven to have committed suicide. So the remaining were the people that went missing.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is when the police suspected that there was a serial killer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So they were like, so the police were like, look at this poster. We know where half of these people are. The other half, serial killer. That's interesting.
I mean, it seems like there's a trend going on.
Yeah.
Kinsman and Essen's disappearance created Project Prism. Specifically Kinsman, because his disappearance had been reported within 72 hours and it had evidence.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they found a calendar in his house that said Bruce on the 26th, the last day he was seen.
People who keep calendars, thank you.
Yeah.
You're legitimately helping yourself. I don't keep a calendar and I totally should. Because if I go missing and on my calendar it says what I'm doing, there you go. Like, oh, what a smart thing to do. Anyways, keep going.
I only have a agenda for school. So you can know what I'm studying that day. So it's very unhelpful.
Oh man, chemistry killed her.
There was also surveillance video.
Oof.
Yeah. So it showed a red vehicle approaching Kinsman, but the footage was not clear enough to identify the license plate.
Oh man.
I know, but they saw him go in.
Okay.
And they knew what type of car it was. They saw that the car was a 2004 Dodge Caravan, and they found that only 5 people that had 2004 Dodge Caravans that were red were registered to someone named Bruce.
That's, like, not a lot of people. That's pretty good.
I mean, how many Bruces do you know?
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Also, like, really specific car. I guess.
2004 Dodge Grand Caravan?
Yeah, like the year makes it specific.
That's true.
Because before the registry of Dodge Caravans that were red were like 6,000, but they narrowed it down because it was 2004 model specifically.
Huh.
So, but the other Bruces were eliminated as suspects because they found surveillance footage at MacArthur's apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, so this was in late August or early September. They didn't pinpoint a date. So police had obtained production orders for Google, Rogers Bell, TELUS, Royal Bank, and Manulife to release information in August, September. In October, they found info from Yahoo, some other banks, and a LGBT publisher. MacArthur was named a suspect officially on September 8th of 2017. But so far, everything is circumstantial.
All right, so now they're into his internet stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So on October 3rd, police officers arrived at Dom's Auto Parts in Courtice, Ontario, and confirmed that Bruce had bought the 2004 Dodge Caravan back in 2013, and they found it intact, and they towed it away. I'm really confused about this part when I read it, because, like, they found it intact. Was it at the auto shop?
No, they must have just confirmed that he did have that car. Then they were like, "Hey, now let's go find that car."
And then, yeah, okay.
And then let's go search that car.
I don't know. The way that Wikipedia put it was confusing.
Yeah, that is. I get how that can be confusing.
Anyways, they found traces of blood in the car, and it matched Kinsman.
Well, that's...
Yep, that's pretty solid evidence.
Like, cut to credits. There's the ending.
Anyways, then the police obtained a key fob to McArthur's apartment and had a tracking warrant for his cell phone so they could build a timeline of the day that Kinsman went missing. The DNA evidence in his van matched Kinsman and Essen, so investigators could obtain a search warrant for McArthur's apartment on December 4th, 2017. They copied his computer's hard drive, and they found photos of the victims post-mortem.
Oh.
There were hundreds of them.
Oh, that makes me so upset.
It's very upsetting. And this was on January 17th, 2018.
That makes me so upset.
Yeah. So they were still surveilling him at the time, and they apprehended him when they saw a young man enter McArthur's apartment on January 18th, 2018. And they thought that his life would be endangered.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but as they entered the apartment, the man was chained to the bed and he had a black bag over his head, and McArthur was about to tape his mouth shut. So literally caught in the act.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes, but it started off as sex because the man's name was, like, he went by John. And he was also of Middle Eastern descent, and he was also married. He told the police that he met McArthur through Growler, a dating app, and he has had sex with him prior, like before, a couple times. So he knew him.
Okay.
So he allowed himself to be handcuffed to the bed. Initially. But then the police barged in when McArthur was about to tape his mouth shut.
So what I'm getting from this is that McArthur's, like, making them comfortable first, like, being with them previous.
Yeah.
And then, ugh.
That's the worst.
That's so scary.
That makes it 10 times scarier. Especially that bartender. Like, Kinsman, they've known each other for a decade.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah. So they searched his apartment and his Leaside residence for bodies. In his Leaside residence, they brought dogs who took an interest in the large planter boxes.
No, this is the part that I've heard before.
Yeah, they found dismembered skeletal remains of at least 3 people in his residence that day because it was frozen over, so they had to thaw them out. So it took a while for them to find bodies. It was all dismembered. And, like, the police don't know definitely how he killed them, but they had a pretty good idea after they walked in on
what was
John.
going on.
Yeah. So, on February 23rd, he was charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder. On April 11th, he was charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder. So they just kept on finding bodies. Because on April 16th, he was charged with 8 counts of first-degree murder. This is all 2018, by the way. So this includes everyone from the Project Houston and Project Prism and then some. The 3 other men were named Sarush Mahmoodi, Dean Lozowick, and Kirishna Kumar Kanagarthnam. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I couldn't have said it any better.
But those were the 3 other men that they found the bodies of. Because, like, couldn't originally identify all of them right away. So they had to post, they posted a picture of, like, one of them.
Oh, for people to identify?
Yeah.
Oh.
It didn't really help, but eventually they found who he was. Because one of them was a legal immigrant.
Oh, so there was no record of him in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the police are still looking for potential victims right now because they went through all the people that he's encountered on his vacations or like,
oh man,
they don't know how far back this dates because they figured that like serial killers start when they're younger. You know, like he started when he was 50, technically. Not really. Actually, his first assault was when he was 50. They think that maybe it goes back further, so they're still looking around for bodies. So they're tracking down other missing persons cases, cold cases that all relate to Bruce Mcarthur, that have the same MO as
What is MO? I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
It means like what's it called? Trend. It's like the same trend.
Okay, sorry people out there that are like, oh my gosh, she's a true crime podcaster and she doesn't know what MO means. I'm sorry, I don't. But now I do, so.
It's trend.
Trend. Okay, cool.
Pretty much.
Good to know.
It's okay. I knew what it was, but I didn't know what it stood for, so I googled that today.
What does it stand for?
I don't remember, but
Okay,
I know
awesome.
it's trend. Let me look it up now.
It's like the same characteristics, right?
Yeah.
A modus operandi. Okay. Now
Yeah.
that you put it in Latin, I know it. Isn't that silly?
Yeah. But that's what MO means.
That's in the first episode of How to Get Away with Murder. They explain that. The modus operandi. Anyways, sorry, I watched too much.
How to Get Away with Murder? Oh yeah, I love that
In the
show.
first episode, they explain what an MO is.
I
but
totally forgot about that
alas,
show.
I did not know.
Also, the police noted that Mcarthur was really good at covering up his tracks because he would use aliases online, he would use payphones instead of his cell phone, and he would avoid areas with surveillance, except for that one time. He pleaded guilty to each of the 8 first-degree murders, and he kept trophies, as a serial killer does. Like, he would keep jewelry, and he'd have, like, a notebook, and he had hundreds of pictures of them after he killed them, and, like, they were posed. And then the weird thing is he would shave off their head in some of the pictures. No, not their head, their hair. Yeah, their hair, and he would keep the hair. Yeah, so he was sentenced to life in prison with no parole eligibility for 25 years. So he can only apply for parole when he's 91 years old.
Let's hope he dead by then.
Yeah, the judge called the acts pure evil because he had no remorse, like no signs of remorse for anything that he had done.
Can I just say something? This case scares the absolute everything out of me because think about it. You're with someone who you trust, who
Yeah.
you've been with before, who you've established a relationship with, and then they just like turn on you and kill you. That is so terrifying.
Yeah, there was a lot of articles that I read about this that from other people's perspectives, that people who have known him, they just could not believe that it was him. They just could not wrap their minds around it.
Ew, that's so scary because that's
Yeah.
just like, you know, your everyday person that you have a relationship with.
Yeah, especially
Oh.
his sister. His sister had a really hard time.
Believing that he did it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But he didn't even try to cover it up. He was like, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so scary.
I think he wanted the trial to come to an end, so he just pled guilty immediately.
Well,
Well, like, you know, like when he had his first assault, he claimed it was him right away.
that's true. He turned himself in.
I mean, I guess it goes back to when he was like a teacher's pet. He's just like, he knows he did something bad, and he's just like, I did it.
And you never expect those people to be serial killers.
Exactly. That makes it even scarier.
Oh.
Because it's not like some person that you expect. Like, you don't expect anyone to be a serial killer, but you know what I mean?
Like, you know when it's somebody, you're just like, oh, that person's the best.
Yeah.
And then they go on and kill 8 gay people.
Or
you're
more.
Like, that
possibly
person was
more.
not the best. That person was the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's that episode.
Yep. How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel scared, but as does every true crime case. But it's better to be scared and aware than just unaware.
Yeah. Unaware and scared.
Well, I feel like if you're unaware, you're
Scared
not scared,
and
but
aware.
you're just...
Unaware. Like, would you be unaware?
Oh, and I'm going to give our usual disclaimer that anything we say, we don't mean to be offensive at all. If we're saying anything that could come across offensive, please let us know in the comments. Please let us know if there's anything that we've got wrong as well. We're not perfect.
Yes, please. Let us know, and then we'll correct it in the next episode.
Yes, because we're not here to spread false information. We're here to do the exact opposite.
We're not here to spread rumors.
We're not about that fake news.
So remember, you can't trust anybody, not even people you've known for a decade, so please question everything.
And if you think your neighbor's killing your pets, don't let the cat have your tongue. Until next time,
Bye!
peace out.